got the hikers. We got the equipment. Here's Emma's new hikers. I'm gonna show the people. Hikers down there. We done it once. We done it. We did it once. We can do it again.
I never saw an eagle before.
It's just coasting.
What?
It's just coasting, like on the wind like that.
Oh. Oh my gosh, I never saw an eagle like that. Well, I never actually found an eagle before. That's cool.
So I'm just on my way to the studio and I noticed there's a like a yellow jacket with like a sign, and it's like some person in a lawn chair up there. Oh man, I'm gonna have to blur this license plate out. Anyway, I'm really curious as to what this is about here. Oh, I thought it was like one lone protester. It says like Pier 1, Pier 1 like import sale. Oh, that's funny. I'm an idiot. Lethbridge Protest City, baby. John in the Wild. Part of me wants to correct them so bad and tell them how this thing works. But then again, $3 a can. Looks like I'm going to be making a gray and red piece, maybe today. Hell yeah. Here I am once again, benefiting from the mistakes of others. Got 2 gray and 2 red, and I don't need either of those colors, but at $3 a can, and that's the only thing that they determine is wrong with it, because they just don't know what's up. That's my assumption anyway. Yeah, steal of a deal, especially because their pricing is at $15 a can, and I got 4 cans for less than I would pay for 1. So I'm going to be making a gray and red abstract piece. I'll probably throw some other colors in there, but that's going to be the base of it, and that'll happen today is my plan. Other thing, so I've been waiting for like more than a month for them to get this gesso in. Now, I, on my phone, had a picture of like the gesso with the barcode and everything, and it says Liquitex Basics. Now, they have a Liquitex Professional gesso there, and I don't like it. On the back of the label, it said like fluid or thick, and it was on the fluid end. This stuff was on the thick end. Now, this one is a different label, but it's the same barcode. It looks like they just rebranded this line of Basics gesso, and so I bought it, but the thing was that it doesn't tell me any of the properties of it on the label. I looked it up online while I was there, and it looks like it's the same as the other one, but if they've rebranded the aesthetics and the look and the labeling, I wonder if they've played around with the properties and chemistry of it. I have no idea. I tried to look it up online, I couldn't find any information. It just seems like, yeah, the old packaging is gone and this is the new stuff. So we'll hope it works the same, because I really want thick gesso. I use it for texture. All gesso shrinks a little bit as it dries, but I found with other gessos that I was playing around with, you'd buy a bunch of gesso and be not useless per se, but if I wanted to use it for texture, and it shrank so much that it didn't it just almost went back down to the canvas level, like there was no point. So we'll try this out. Shout out to Michaels for being not very knowledgeable, so tight. I've never been one to get depressed about the weather in a seasonal affective disorder way, or just in general, until I moved to Lethbridge and started biking. Man, the wind here, I feel like, is what the rain is like for people in Seattle. Except I can deal with rain better than wind, just purely on a living basis, nothing to do with biking. I like the rain. I'm sure I'd get tired of it eventually, but I can't even walk when it's too windy. It's just really frustrating. I feel like I can't breathe, and it's like fighting the wind the whole time. Just to walk from my car to the house sometimes, I want to scream with how windy it gets here. 100-kilometer winds, trash. But the biking thing, I know that I can't wait just for ideal conditions to bike, but hey, ideal conditions are really nice, and the wind, amongst other things, can turn a pleasant experience into a really unpleasant one. If the purpose of the ride is also to, you know, exercise, I will get exercise. I will. That'll be good. But it's going to be a horrible experience getting an exercise, so it doesn't really help my mood as much as it normally would. But man, this winter's just really annoying. It gets crazy windy from the Chinooks, thus it warms up and it melts all the snow. So for the last week, there was like no snow on the ground for like 5 days in a row. It was really windy though, so I couldn't really, you know, go for a bike ride. It was crazy windy. There's no snow on the ground. It finally dried. And then the first day where I was like, you know what, I think it's really dry now. Tomorrow I hope the wind settles down so I can go for a ride. It just dumped snow overnight. And a lot of that has melted already because, again, it's getting windy. So it's a little warmer. It's not crazy windy right now. It's settled down a lot. I probably could have gone for a ride today. I still could have, even despite the snow, but not on a trail. I mean, if I go on a trail in winter, it needs to be frozen. It can't be like freshly snowed on and melting at the same time and then it's muddy. And no, I need to combat this. I would need to get a fat bike to feel way more comfortable doing that. I'm picky, I guess. Got something I'm working on, something new, something exciting, something that as soon as I taped it down here, got a little scary. Randy and I are going to work on a partnered exhibition. I shouldn't say we're going to work on it. I mean, we're working on applying for it. And one of the things that we wanted to do was to have one piece finished so that we could show the place we're exhibiting, hopefully exhibiting, a sample of what we plan to do. So we're going to use all her photographs, 18 by 24s, and I'm going to paint over them. She's going to title them first, and then I'm just going to play with doing stuff on top. And I've never done that before. Like, this is a new type of collaboration for me. I was really excited, and I had some stuff in my head, and I was like, oh yeah, and I picked all the pictures kind of that I wanted to use already for the most part. Gonna go take some more on an excursion, hopefully this weekend. But it was just like, it was exciting, and now I put it down here, and now I'm freaked out and scared, because I'm like, oh no, like, what do I do? Like, I don't know what to do, because normally I'm used to just a blank canvas. I'm used to just being able to do whatever I want, and then if I don't like it, I can paint over it. This requires something a little more calculated, because I can't get this image back. Like, I've got one shot to do this. I can't, like, necessarily take the paint off or paint over it without messing up what else is going on, because I want a lot of this image to still show through. But what parts do I not want to show through, and why? And having to plan that and think about that, I don't know. I still don't want to, like, pre-plan it like crazy, but I have to think about it and, like, really kind of take one step at a time, and I'm not good at that. So I'll show you what it looks like when I'm further along, and we'll see what happens. The past couple days, or week, I got really annoyed at Skynet, at the interwebs, because of targeted ads and things like that, and algorithms online and things. And it's something I just got to get used to, kind of, maybe. I mean, there's certain browsers you can get that are free that don't track every little thing you do and then feed you ads based on that behavior. It wouldn't bother me. Well, I'm going to sneeze, so cool. It wouldn't bother me as much if the ads were targeted in a way that made more sense. So if you buy something, sometimes like, oh, you bought it, so you must like it. You know, sometimes you buy things and you find out that you don't like it later. That's one thing. Sometimes you Google search stuff because you want information on something that you don't like. Case in point, the name Johnny Three Tears is in the back of my mind, like, because I feel like, I'm like, I know that name. And I looked this up like months ago. And I was like, I'm pretty sure that he's part of Hollywood Undead. I'm pretty sure that's why that name is in the, like, I have, like, there's that string of words, that phrase. It's because of Hollywood Undead. I don't like Hollywood Undead. I don't like Johnny Three Tears. I don't like the music. I just don't like it. But I needed to search it up just to just to clarify, I'm like, oh yeah, that's where I got that thing in my head from. Like, great, I'm using the internet as a tool to just like get that thing out of my brain. And then, you know, based off of that search though, I'm going to get stuff that I don't care about, that I don't want to see, that I don't like. Even if it just fed me everything I liked because somehow it knew that, it'd still be annoying because then I've got all this stuff in my face about like, it's just about having willpower. And I know that's a me thing. Like, oh great, it showed me this thing that I didn't even know I wanted until I saw it. Like, I didn't know it existed, so how could I know I want it? And then it's me and my materialism and my consumerism and my collecting and everything else. That's a me problem. However, if I didn't know it existed, I wouldn't buy it. Like, I wouldn't want to buy it, I should say. The desire, there's no desire to fight if I didn't know it existed. And there's plenty of times I don't know anything exists until there's ads targeting me to buy something. Like, I didn't go like I didn't go to Amazon to start shopping. I didn't go wherever to start looking for something to buy. I didn't know it existed. I was just cruising my Facebook and then boom, ads, based off of other things that I've liked, like a page that I like because I like the content, I like the information. It doesn't mean I want to go out and buy stuff. I understand this is all a part of it now, and learning how to work within that system is annoying because that system didn't exist, you know, until how many years ago? And people are being born into the system, or people are quickly realizing that's the way things are, or whatever. Like, oh yeah, like I'm a teenager on the internet. This is just the way things are. Whereas, like, the internet, for all intents and purposes, didn't exist when I was a child, and I had access to it in high school in a way that is not the same that it is now. I mean, it's an incredibly different thing than it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. It's incredibly different. Operates so different, and it's changing so rapidly. But even, I don't know where I'm going with this. Skynet, come on. So this is what I got going on right now. Showed Randy via Snap. She said she really enjoyed it. I think I'm done, but I'm not 100% sure. And I need to I took pictures of it, and that'll help me decide. Once it's dry enough and I put it on the wall, it might be a two-step process. It's definitely so different than anything I've done, like this type of collaboration, and I don't know. I'm still really unsure. There's definitely things I like about it, and there's things where I'm just like, man, I don't know. And unfortunately, it's not like I can do a whole bunch of these and get trial and error before I realize like how to do it. It's going to evolve as the body of work. Like, it's going to evolve with each one I do, I think. And not just because, like, every composition will be different because I'm basing it off of what's already there. That's not the only reason it's going to evolve, but I'm, like, probably going to add more mediums or, like, just try different things that I would have tried from the start had I even thought of it, or if it was successful, or I don't know. It's going to be tough. Okay. So, I'm a part of a bunch of buy and sell groups on Facebook. That's where I try to like sell some of my art. And I noticed today, because I was going to post something in the groups about a painting, that one of the groups in my list of groups is called Closed Waste of Time. And I was like, I'm not part of a group called Closed Waste of Time. I'm like on buy and sell pages and like some music pages. And I was just like, what? Like art pages. It's like, what the heck? What is this? So I click on it, and it says, this group has been archived. Admin archived the group March 6th, which was yesterday. You can't create posts, like, comment, or add members. You can still view posts. They put up this quote for the new cover photo. It is no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society, which I agree with. I'm not going to try to pronounce this dude's name. But I was like, okay, so that's cool. Like, it just private group now. It's closed. You can't do anything. I was like, what group was it? And it was a buy and sell group in the Lethbridge area. Because all this stuff is listed in like southern Alberta. And so I was like, okay, so an admin, either someone like hackatroned this, or like an admin was just like, screw this, like I don't want to be a part of this system anymore, and just like closed it and put that quote up. So that was cool. That was something else. Anyway, speaking about closing things up, I'm going to close out the vlog right now. The only other video that I have this week is a conversation that was a continuation of the conversation I had last week. So the conversation is just about my ideal teaching position, what that would be like. Somebody had kind of asked me some questions about the other video, and so I kind of wanted to talk more about it, and here we are. But with that, I will see you all another time, and I think Lil's going to say goodbye too. Hey Lil, can you say bye?